federal government has urged the country's tertiary institutions to tailor their academic programs to meet local economic, social and environmental needs while tackling the challenges of unemployment and climate change confronting Nigeria. Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, who stated this during an interactive session with rectors of federal polytechnics and provosts of federal colleges of education, enjoined the institutions to ensure that graduates possess market-relevant skills critical to Nigeria's industrialization and sustainable development. Alausa disclosed that one of the things the government is doing to strengthen technical education is establishing a National Commission for Technical Education. The minister called on the institutions to embrace the federal government's agenda to transform the country's education system by delivering high-quality learning and training across Nigeria. He noted that the current administration is focused on revitalizing technical and vocational education and training (TVET) while adopting the Pareto rule of 80-20 ratio, favoring practical over theoretical training. He said this new curriculum is designed to equip students with the hands-on skills required to thrive in today's dynamic workforce. By aligning academic programs with the industry demands, TVET prepares students for careers in high-impact sectors such as information and communication technology, carpentry, electrical installations, and advanced manufacturing. This innovative approach is designed not only to tackle low enrollment in our technical institutions, but also to ensure that graduates possess market-relevant skills critical to Nigeria's industrialization and sustainable development, the minister stated. Alausa said the ministry has forged strategic partnerships with private sector players, including the Bank of Industry and Nigeria Education Loan Fund, to achieve this. The era of producing unemployable graduates over, according to the federal government. Mr. What's your take on looking at our educational curriculum and the current realities we have we are facing in this country?
Yeah, I would say yes. The educational system needs reformation because the world is advancing and evolving. So there are some curriculums that are not basically needed in the society, development of AI and some modern equipment globally. So most of the things we learn will be outdated in a few years.
Okay.
So if the curriculum can be updated or fixed properly, I think that's a good one, helping the students in our various institutions across the nation. So my take is, yes, if we can fix the fact that, or focus on the future, that the world is evolving and the students need to be given appropriate skills that will help them in the future not to be out of the job, then I think it's a good one to serve.
Do you think any course studied in university, in school, is a waste?
It's not totally a waste, but then
Not totally. That means it could be a waste.
It could be a waste.
Why do you say so?
In few years, because as I said, the world is evolving. The world is evolving. Just I don't know the hope of some courses with the innovations we have, the use of AI and others currently. Like, for example, I would want to mention the English course. Going to school to study English. Okay, I don't know what would you be using English to do in the next few years.
Okay, let me introduce myself to you. I read English and literature in school, and I'm working in the media house.
You're working in the media house. What about a few years from now?
Okay.
So I think, yes, studying English, you study English, but then you have to go more deeper in getting some relevant skills.
Okay.
In communication and other aspects.
Okay, your emphasis is on skills. I will come back to you, Mr. Libari. What's your take on education as a whole? Somebody said education without character development is an abuse of education.
Yeah, if you are awarded a certificate, the first thing they do, you've been found worthy in character and in learning.
Okay.
So, the true, looking at how I'm going, okay, the reality that is on you as an educated person is your character.
Okay.
Not the PhD you have, not the English you can speak. Like me, I know those days in school, my lecturer, one of the best courses I had in school was Englishes in Nigeria.
English history.
Englishes in Nigeria. Englishes in Nigeria.
Oh, Englishes.
That was this I was calling it. He was able to tell us that speak English as in Nigeria. You are in Nigeria. And I buy into it because I hate being recolonized by my speech. If you want to judge me by my ability to speak my language. That is my belief.
Okay.
Don't laugh at anybody that you don't know how to speak English. It's not your language. Our language are going into extinction because of the educational system we have.
But it doesn't deny the fact that it's our lingua franca.
Wait, what made it to be our lingua franca? Why didn't we adopt an indigenous language in Nigeria as our lingua franca?
We could, but it has been woven into our...
That is what I'm saying, that I don't want to be colonized again. Because the new model of colonialism is through school.
Okay.
A man said they left us and they gave us tie, dragging us. So let me come back to this now. Our educational system is fucked up. I always say that for us to get our educational system where, let there be an embargo on all our politicians not to send their children abroad, at least from their secondary to their first degree.
Yeah, you think that's achievable?
If we can do this, we get our educational system where. Do you know why? Our honorable minister speaking here, his children, are they studying in Nigeria? I'm asking because he might hear, he should answer us as Nigerians. All of them in Senate, where are their children studying? And on the long run, the appropriation bill that has to make education to work, they are the people approving it.
Okay.
So, if nothing concerns me with the educational system of this nation, it's not directly affecting me, I won't take it seriously. But whereas their words are in here studying, they will understand how to make it work.
Okay.
So, I told you that I have a friend who studied electrical engineering. But he said something that when they were talking about circuits, all those things, that they were watching it on television. Electrical engineering.
We could be visual learning.
We can visual. That is this something that ought to be practical. They don't have the apparatus to do it. They were watching it on television.
Okay.
So, if you want to shift from being theoretical to being practical, where are the apparatus? Where are the laboratories?
Okay.
Where are the materials?
He just said that.
He just said it. He's not the first person to say it.
But he mentioned the fact that there's been their partnerships ongoing to provide these apparatus for learning.
Michael, I remember 2013 strike in Nigeria in federal institutions. What led to it? And what were the statements? Let me not talk about the ones that have been going on. Let me categorically talk about the 2013. If you go to most of the institutions now, you will see TET Fund 2012. These were what brought about the 2013 strike under Jonathan. Now, at the end of the strike, what happened in our tertiary institutions? So, it's not just about saying it. It's not just talking about partnership. Let us see the implementation of the things you've said.
Okay.
See, literature is something that I can put forth any literature for you to praise me. So as he's saying that we should follow the 80-20, let him start with the 80.
I will come back to them, hold your line on that. He mentioned, he raised emphasis on the era of producing unemployable graduates. I want to get a perspective on the word unemployable graduates. Is it that, just go
on. Unemployable graduates. That is to say that they are employable graduates, right? Because these are two things. Unemployable graduates. That is giving the graduates who cannot be employed an opportunity, right?
Okay.
Yes. So I think from his perspective, he's trying to raise up a standard where we can have employable graduates, and that is a lot.
Okay,
That is a lot.
let me get back. I'll hold on. Let me go back to Mr. Lebari. Unemployable. Is it that now he didn't say unemployable students? He mentioned graduates. And you know, before someone becomes a graduate, there's a whole lot of process involved in it.
Michael, he knows that they've bastardized our educational system. Are you getting it?
Okay.
They know they've bastardized it. Who tell you that our graduates are not unemployable? I went for an interview in an NGO. When I got there, they said I should develop a blueprint on how to educate a community within 6 months on the effects of dirty water on their health. I should bring out a blueprint on how. This was 2019? Remember, I'm forgetting how the question was. It was an NGO. I brought out the blueprint. It was in a neighboring state here. Then I was job hunting. After it, the people that were taking us on the interview, they came from Lagos. Okay. At the end, the man gave me 20,000 naira to pay as transport, as my transportation back to River State. Okay. That's somebody, a top government official that even brought them in, has already given them the person to
did they use a blueprint?
He said that he told me categorically that that's what they are going to use.
Interesting.
That's what they are going to use. So who tell you that our graduates are unemployable? You are making them to be unemployable. Because I don't see any reason. We were talking about the other day. I know when I wrote my first post-UTME, it was manual. When I went to the school, they were telling me, we have admission. Don't be scared. Relax yourself. I didn't. It was later they told me that after writing, you need to go about it. That your department is hot cake.
Okay.
They said your department is what? Hot cake. Hot cake that is hot. That you need to have. Now, what are you telling me now that we are unemployable? Nigerians have brain. Take a third class graduate in Nigeria, take him abroad.
I also mentioned that because there's been cases of Nigerians doing well over there.
So what is happening to our system in here? Becoming a slave in our land. You are telling us that the era has ended. Who told you? And for you, I'm not even focusing on unemployed, because I say that our graduates, the ones that are graduates, certified in character and in learning, not the ones that they are selling certificates. Because for him to say this, there are many things. NYC just came up recently and said they shouldn't, there's a way they put it, they shouldn't mobilize unqualified something for them that is giving the headache. There are some persons like that. And they are the people doing well in the school system because of how our educational system has dilapidated. But we have graduates. I know of someone who is a first class graduate, 5.00. The school promised him automatic employment. They played him. Nothing came out. He did his master's. Nothing came out. He did his PhD. Nothing came out. A brain that can impact others. I know of the person. So they are the people making the graduates unemployable. Yes, I'm saying it from first person narrative techniques. Yes, I'm not saying it based on I have encountered them, I have seen them.
Okay, let me hold the line that based on time. You mentioned that there are some courses that could be added. Are you soliciting that there should be a total eradication of these courses, or they should be revamped to fit into the current realities we have now?
Okay, what I said was there could be courses that are could be totally useless in the future. So what I think is these courses should be revamped, not eradicated.
Okay.
So we can revamp the courses and ensure we give these students necessary skills that fits the moment or fits the future that they can use, instead of just teaching them theories, but also ensuring they practicalize it, because we have an issue in Nigeria of not practicalizing or practicalizing
what you studied. You know, that brings me to my next question for you. Education is considered as an all-rounder. Is expected as someone that has gone to school or someone that's educated with not just the four walls of the school could fit into any sector, because for goodness sake you've been trained, so they could put you in, and you can also learn on the job. So how do you correlate that with what you just said?
Okay, being able to fit in other aspects.
Yes.
I think you are a master in your own piece, in your own work. Yes, you can fit in other aspects, but then you went to school to study this particular stuff. You should focus on that. But then that does not stop you in fixing your eyes or your hands into other aspects. But then you went to school because of this.
Okay.
So you should focus on this. It is the responsibility of the university or the educational system to provide what you need. I am coming to school because I'm studying education. So my focus should be on education. Your people or the people in charge should make all necessary equipment available for me who is studying education. So I can also fit in other aspects, but then I think that's my job, that's my work. I can go on fixing other aspects, but then that should not make you ignore the fact that I need those equipment to be able to be a master in my own field.
Okay.
Your field is the English communication aspect. You need those equipments to be a master in your field.
Oh.
Not going to engineering to try to fit in. So
Okay.
I think.
Thank you. Mr. Libari, you mentioned, you gave us a case study of a friend who came out first class and hadn't, let me use the word, hadn't the job actually. Now, that such person, someone might be watching now and be like, okay, it doesn't matter if you have first class or not. Do you think that person, that fellow, wasn't adequately trained in skills acquisition? Or he didn't go for it, he just based his focus on what he was studying? Because
Okay, sorry.
no, because obviously jobs are there are things anyone could find himself doing currently.
Okay, when you during your one orientation, there's one thing they will tell you: if you graduate with first class, you will end up. They will retain you as a lecturer. That's what happened. And when we were in school, you used to tell them you are studying for first class. God bless you. Study for first class. I didn't study for first class because I understood before I get into the 4 walls of the university, I understood that I shouldn't be in school because of job.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of the mindset I had. I was not studying so that I would be employed by anyone. I was studying so that I could develop my knowledge. And when another thing that happened is that this fellow, after graduating with first class, his mind was from year one. He was on that first class. I will be retained as a lecturer. And he will tell you that I have to prepare myself so that if I'm coming to teach my students, I won't be coming with books. He will tell you. This will tell you that someone has already prepared himself to be an embodiment of what he studied.
Okay.
So that he can pass it on to others. So when we talk about skill, I know in in school they did GS, that was GS 300, right? Entrepreneurship, this thing. These courses are meant to be practical. Computer appreciation, as a GS course, we are meant to be practical. We were reading it in textbook. You are teaching me about Java in textbook. Java in textbook. You are teaching me about web development and this in textbook. How do you expect me to function? You are teaching me about entrepreneurship skill in textbook. No practical approach. These are where the issues are coming from. So not that he wasn't equipped. Currently now, he's not a lecturer, but he's doing well. He's married.
Okay.
Now, one thing is that the way our educational system is patterned, to some extent, if you are not ready, it might even limit you from becoming who you are. Now, you might ask me how. How do I mean? Let's take it. I am a writer. After my education, the way maybe I applied for English and literature studies, and on the long run, I wrote my JAM, wrote my post-UTME, I made up the cutoff mark. I was waiting for them to employ me so that I can develop my creative writing skill. On the long run, I am seeing me gaining admission, the same Faculty of Humanities, into History and Diplomatic Studies. It's rampant in Nigeria. Yes. So what will I do with it? On the long run, when I enter History and Diplomatic Study, the orientation is that nobody can do without you. That is the I don't know whether they sang the song to you. Nobody can do without you. You are the brain of the society, stereotyping your view. So in the long run, coming out of the four walls of the university, you've lost you.
Okay.
You've lost you. So it's affecting. So coming back now, trying to find you. If you are not if you are not sensitive enough, it takes you decades for you to find you. So that is what happened. But thank God that my friend picked up himself after his PhD. He's a PhD holder.
Interesting.
He's a PhD holder. He's doing business, and God is helping him. He's feeding his wife. He's feeding the children. Are feeding, and he can change his clothes, and he's living well.
All right.